welcome back to the channel. In this video I will show you how you can create this Apple logo in Spline 3D. Let's get started. So here we are in Spline. Let's delete this rectangle. Let's change the background color to this cream white. And I will import my vector SVG. Let's scale this down a little bit. Something like 60%. Let's move it to the left and a bit up so we can see it better. And now let's take the sphere tool. Let's draw a big sphere by holding shift to make it a perfect sphere. Something like this. I will turn on the snapping to object and I will put this in the center to be aligned with the logo. I will switch now to the front view. You can do this with Option R. Okay, I will decrease the opacity to 70% so we can see what we are doing. And I will try to match this as close as I can to the actual logo. Something like this. And also let's scale it down a little bit because the apple is not so rounded. So maybe 0.8, something like this. Okay, it looks good. Now let's duplicate this sphere with Command D. Let's move it a bit to the right. Scale it down by holding shift. And now select both spheres, and I will use the Boolean modifier to subtract the second sphere from the first one. And now I will try to match the cutout of the apple. Now I will select the main sphere and I will choose Smooth and Edit. Increase the level of subdivision to 2 to make it a bit smoother. And now I will select the bottom part of the sphere and I will drag it down just a little bit. Something like this. Now select the vertex tool. I will switch to the top view. I will select this point right here, switch to front view and drag this down all the way to here, something like this, to this line. Switch again to the top view and now select these points. If you want to select multiple points, just hold shift, and this one right here. Okay, switch to the front view. Let's see, did you select everything? Yes, switch to the front view and move them down about here. Switch to the top view again, and now let's select this row of points, this third row of points. Front view again, and let's move this maybe here. Okay, something like this. Switch to the top view again. Let's select this row of points now. Front view and move them down a little bit, just so it matches with the top contour of the apple. No, something like this. Okay, it looks good, but we still need to have a little bit of curvature here. First, I will select both sides here. Make sure you have both sides selected because we want to select some points and we also want them to be selected to the other side of the sphere. So yeah, first of all, let's select maybe these 3 points and move them down a little bit, something like this. Maybe now we can select these 3 points and move them down a little bit. Now select this point and move it down a little bit. Now this point. Move it down as well. Something like this. This one. Top view and this one. And now a little bit lower. Okay, so we now have the curvature. Let's see how it looks. Okay, it looks pretty good. Let's now take care of the bottom part. So again, switch to bottom view this time, select this point, front view, and move it up. Maybe more up to this line, something like this. Bottom view again. Now let's select these points right here. Okay, front view. And move them up. Let's say here. Maybe it's too much because you can see it will also move this part from the side. Let's see. Maybe here it's fine. And I will select now these points, move them up. And now these points, move them up a bit. Okay, it looks fine. And now we need to take care a bit of the left part and the right part. So let's take these points, move them to the left a bit. These points to the left and a bit down. These points, let's move them down, something like this, and a bit to the left. Let's do the same to the right side. So take these points, move them a bit to the right. Take these points, move them a bit to the right. Something like this. Maybe this too much. And these points to the right. Maybe this one is too much. Take these points, move them down and to the right. These points a bit down. So just play around with it until you have something you're proud of. Something like this. We can modify these points a little bit from here. Move them to the left. Okay, maybe these points a bit up, actually a bit down. Something like this. These 2 points a bit down. Okay, maybe these 2 a bit up. Yeah, but it looks good. Let's see if we increase now the opacity to 100 again and disable the logo. So it looks good, but I think we have some distortion around here. Let's see, maybe this point, move it a bit down, something like this. Okay, I think it looks good now. Okay, and let's now take care of the leaf. For this, take the pen tool and let's drag a shape. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to modify it anyway. Take now this tool, the bend tool, and click on the point, hold Option and modify the path. But first let's put some extrusion to this, maybe 20%, and edit the path again. Okay, I think it looks good, and let's also put some bevel, maybe 20. Disable the logo and let's create some material now. Let's call this apple, and for the color let's make it almost completely black. Make sure you put this material to the apple and to the leaf as well. Let's add a Fresnel now. 0.1 is too much, maybe 0.05. And maybe decrease the opacity a bit, like 80%. Let's also add a matte cap. And for this I will use this texture and maybe decrease the opacity to like 80%. We have here a bit of distortion, I don't really like it. You can see this point, maybe move it to the left a bit. Okay, it looks good. So yeah, this is the final result. If you want, you can check this Spline project in the description below. Thanks for watching and see you soon.